Good afternoon, students. Today we'll be discussing the topic sales contest, and the learning objective of discussing today's lecture would include what is the sales contest, then discussing what are the various objectives of designing a sales contest, the various contest decisions that are taken by the contest planners, and how the contest planners go about evaluating the contest. Let's first of all understand the meaning of a sales contest. A sales contest is a special selling campaign offering incentives in the form of prizes or awards beyond those in the compensation plan. As you might be well aware of that, the compensation plans are decided for every salespeople, and they get it regularly for performing their job. But a sales contest is something extra given to them for participating in the contest. So the underlying purpose of all sales contests is to provide extra incentives to increase the sales volume or to bring in more profitable sales volume or to do both. So sales contest develop team spirit, boost morale by making making their jobs more interesting and make personal selling efforts more productive. So these are the benefits of the sales contest. The main aim of the sales contest is to accomplish the specific objectives, and generally one per contest within limited periods of time. So every contest has some specific objective, and most contest aims to motivate salespeople to obtain new customers or to secure larger orders per sales call, to push slow moving items, high margin goods or new products, to overcome a seasonal slump, to sell a more profitable mix of products, to improve the performance of distributors, salespeople, to promote seasonal merchandise, to obtain more product displays from dealers, to get reorders, or to promote special deals to distributors, dealers, or both. So next we'll be discussing the various contest decisions that are taken by the contest planners. The very first one is to decide upon the format of the contest. So there are two, the contest formats are classified into two categories: direct or novelty. A direct format has a contest theme describing the specific objectives, such as obtaining new accounts. So, for example, let's go after new customers. So, directly we are telling what we want to do. So, this is the direct formats. But a novelty format uses a theme which focuses upon a current event, support, or the like. For example, let's hunt for hidden treasure. Here also we are talking about finding new customers, but this is saying we are saying it in a novel way. After deciding upon the contest format, the next decision that is required to be taken by the contest planner is to decide upon the type of contest prizes. He can choose from any of the four types available to them, but the cash and merchandise are the most common type of prizes used by the most contest planners. So we'll be discussing the four type of contest prizes that the contest planner can give one by one. First one is the cash. So cash is one of the effective award that can be given to any people, but its attraction depends upon a people's unfulfilled needs. So as you all have studied the Maslow's need hierarchy, you are aware that on lower level there are physiological needs, then we have safety needs, security needs, and then we go about higher in the order to the stages of the self-actualization. So the people whose unfulfilled needs are the self-actualization or the achievement needs, they will not be motivated by cash alone, because these needs are already fulfilled. Um, Another thing that will be considered while Deciding upon the cash as the prices is the type of compensation plan being offered to the salespeople. If the compensation plan is such that covers these physiological needs, or the safety and security need of the salespeople, even then the cash prices will not be an attractive prices to be offered. Second category of contest prices that a company can choose is the merchandise. So this merchandise is superior to the cash award in different aspects. First thing is that the winners, they'll have a permanent evidence of their achievement, because merchandise is something that they can keep with them forever, and it will remind them of their achievement even later on. But this is not the case with the cash prizes. The merchandise price is obtained at wholesale, and it represents a value larger than the equivalent cash. For the same total outlay, more merchandise prices than cash awards can be offered. And so we can have more winners for the same contest. But while deciding upon the merchandise as the contest prices, it should be taken care that the item should be such that is desired by the salespeople or their families. Another means to overcome this problem, to give the items of desirability to the salespeople, what a company can do is to let the winner select from a variety of offerings. So, from the psychological point of view, people feel good when they are permitted to assert their individuality and take their choice. Third type of award that can be given to the contest winners is the travel awards. These are quite popular, and nothing can be more glamorized than offering a trip to a luxury resort or an exotic land. So generally the companies that follow the network marketing pattern, they offer the travel awards to the people participating in the contest for a particular period of time. So travel awards generally provide trips for winners and their spouses. And this is advisable also, because in order to obtain the spouse motivational support, and to avoid the spouse opposition to the solo vacation trips for the salespeople. The last type of contest prizes that can be used are the special honors or privileges. So these type of awards has many forms. It can be in a form of a letter from a top executive recognizing the winner's superior performance. It could be a loving cap, or a special trip to a home office meeting, or membership in a special group or club that has certain privileges. Winners, in addition to the award, receive publicity through house organs and in hometown newspapers. So these awards provide strong incentives, as for example, they do with life insurance sales people who push to gain membership in the million dollar club. So this type of awards are used mainly by firms employing salespeople who are almost independent entrepreneurs. But these type of awards are also appropriate whenever management desires to strengthen group identity and build team spirit. So apart from deciding upon the type of the contest prizes, the contest planner should also decide upon how many prizes and how should they be awarded. To gain the widespread interest in the contest, it is always a good idea to make it possible for everyone to win. So this means that the basis for award should be chosen with care. Contest planners recommend that present performance levels be taken into account to motivate the average or inexperienced salespeople along with the star performer, and the basis of award be for improvement rather than total performance. So the total sales volume is less effective as an award basis in this particular case. Many contests offer awards to all showing improvement, but the value of individual awards vary with the amount of improvement. So everyone who is showing improvement should be awarded. It's not means some companies they do not give importance to the amount of improvement, but every little improvement is counted by them. Next season that has to be taken care by the contest planner is the duration. It is quite important in maintaining in the interest of the salespeople. So the contest could run for a period as short as a week or as long as a year. But most of the contests run for from 1 to 4 months. So different executives have different opinion as related to the contest duration. Some claims that 13 weeks is ideal. Some other state that no contest should last longer than a month, and some other points that successful contest should last for 6 months. So there are no set guides, but the contest duration should be decided after considering the length of time interest and enthusiasm can be maintained. But because if the participant will lose interest in participating in the contest, then running a contest will be of no use, because the basic purpose of running contest is to motivate the salespeople or to boost their morale. And if it doesn't happen, then it will be of no use. Next thing is contest promotion. So effective contest promotion is important. So for most of people, sales contest is nothing new. So, but a clever theme or the attractive prizes will be helpful to arouse the interest. A teaser campaign sometimes precedes the formal contest announcement, and at other times, the announcement comes as a dramatic surprise. And even after the contest progresses, other techniques hold and intensify interest. The reports and standings are reported at sales meetings or by daily or weekly bulletins. The sales manager also dispatches telegrams carrying news of important developments or changes in relative standing. So, all these are some ways by which contest can be promoted effectively. So these are all decisions related to the designing of the contest, but designing an effective contest is not only important, but making the evaluation of the contest after running it or before running it is also something that is quite important. So company can evaluate the contest at two different times: before running the contest, which is called pre-evaluation, and after running the contest, which is called post evaluation. Post evaluation seeks insights helpful in improving the future contest. So both of these type of evaluation covers following things, which are alternatives. So in case serious defects exist in the key aspects of the sales force management, the sales contest is not likely to provide more than a temporary improvement. Deficiencies caused by bad recruiting or ineffective training or incompetent supervision or an inappropriate compensation plan are not counterbalanced even temporarily by a sales contest. The underlying purpose of sales contest is to provide extra incentives to increase sales volume or to bring in more profitable sales volume, or both. So this purpose cannot be accomplished if Salesforce management has some basic weaknesses. Other avenues to improvement of selling efficiency needs exploring and evaluating at the time the sales contest is being considered. So means we should while designing the contest or while evaluating it, we should also take into consider the different other alternatives available to the company. Second thing that should be considered by the evaluators is the short term and the long term effect. A sales contest accomplishes its purpose if it increases sales volume or it brings in more profitable sales volume. So a contest cannot be counted as a real success if it borrows sales from preceding months or succeeding months or both. So that means it means that sale means after running a contest means the contest should increase sales during the running of the contest period or even after the contest is over. So the planner should take into account both the short run effects as well as the long term effects in order to evaluate the real effectiveness of the sales contest. Third thing is a design. A well designed contest provides motivation to achieve the underlying purposes. The contest format, whether that is a direct format or novel, should be tied in directly with the specific objectives, and it should include easy to understand and fair contest rules and lend itself readily to the promotion. Next thing that should be considered is the fairness. All salespeople should feel that the contest format and rules give everyone a fair chance of winning the more attractive awards. While the contest is on, all salespeople should continue to feel that they have real chances of winning something. But a sales contest can be unfair if its format causes some to give up before it starts and other to stop trying before it is over. So the fairness of the contest or the prizes or the rules being designed by the contest planners is of utmost importance while evaluating the contest. Last is the impact upon sales force morale. Successful sales contest results in permanently higher level of sales force morale. If the contest format causes personal rivalries, um, it may have the counterproductive effects of creating jealousy among the salespeople. Even if salespeople compete for individual awards, it is often advisable to organize teams and place the emphasis on competition among teams for recognition rather than among individuals for personal gains. So while evaluating the Salesforce contest, the contest planner should also take into account what impact it has on the Salesforce morale. If it is not if it doesn't have any significant impact upon Salesforce morale, that means the sales contest was quite ineffective. So, student, that's all about the sales contest. Hopefully, you have understood the concept. So thank you all of you for being so patient, and we'll meet in another session to discuss some other topic.